In the Star Dragon Kingdom, a cataclysm erupted as countless monsters from another world invaded reality, plunging humanity into chaos. But fate favored the brave. A mysterious imprint appeared on the backs of all humans, awakening unique professions. Through this mark, humanity entered the era of universal job change. Among the awakened, only 3 reached the mythological level. Ghost Swordmaster Alpha from the Lighthouse Country, Hell Dragon Knight, plus Resta from Russia, and Forest Mage King plus Kwanzi Khan from the Cold Country. These mythical professionals gave their nations a dominant lead in the conquest of otherworldly realms. A century ago, the Dragon Country too gave birth to a peerless genius known as Asura. He shattered all records, becoming the first to connect with the 70th world within just 10 years. But during the catastrophic invasion of the 9th level Beast Tide, Asura, still an 8th Transcendent, stood alone to defend the rift. His sacrifice protected the nation, earning him legendary status. This year marked the centennial of Asura's ascent. At a grand memorial in Dragon City, the kingdom's top professionals gathered. According to this year's statistics, 12.35 million individuals have awakened, an 11.3% rise from last year, the highest in 110 years. Of these, 10% reached the core professional tier, surpassing even the era of Asura's birth. Hopes reignite for the rise of another legend. Suddenly, lightning split the sky. Inside a dim room, Yang Yua jolted awake. Memories surged. He had died. Yet here he was. As fragments of the body's past flooded in, Zhang Yua saw a life filled with hardship. Awakening as a beast tamer, one of the most ridiculed professions, led to heartbreak. His girlfriend left him. Powerless and poor, he couldn't afford his brother's treatment. Realizing he had reincarnated into someone bearing the same name 100 years later, Zhang Yua processed the truth. Beasts relied on pets for combat. Their strength was tied not only to their own growth, but also to their pets' development. Cultivating a powerful beast tamer demanded wealth on par with a nation. For most, it was a path of failure. The former Zhang Yue had lost hope and sought an end. But now, he had been reborn. Once known as Suluo, the strongest awakener in the Dragon Kingdom, he now inhabited this weak body. Standing before a mirror, Yung Yu resolved to awaken again, to carry both the responsibilities and regrets of the life he inherited, and to conquer this unforgiving world in return. Just then, the system activated, announcing the gateway's imminent opening. Yung Yu stepped into the space gate as it shimmered into existence. Inside the gate, the system delivered shocking news. Yung Yu had defeated a 9th level Beast Tide for the first time, earning a mythical achievement unmatched in the other world. His rewards totaled 2 trillion energy points, and he received the mythical item, Supreme Divine Oracle. Instantly activated, it granted him a permanent buff, a 10,000-fold increase in energy gain, including 999 times more from offline sources. Total energy surged, 200 trillion points. Stunned by the numbers, Yung Yu realized the wealth hidden behind top-tier rewards. A beast tide of this level brought unimaginable gains. The system then offered him a career reset, presenting 7 legendary core professions to choose from. Reflecting on his past life, Yung Yu remembered awakening as an epic warrior. But in this new world, the strongest profession was clearly the beast tamer. Despite its power, the high resource demands made it nearly impossible to advance. However, with a rebirth and passive income accumulated over millions of years from AFK rewards, the choice became clear. He chose Necromancer. The system congratulated him. Zhang Yue had become the 4th mythic tier core professional, Necromancer, an advanced class of the beast tamer. Starting with a 100-star growth rating, his strength truly matched his rank. Unlike ordinary beast tamers, whose pets came from rare task rewards and couldn't be upgraded, Necromancers could evolve pets and even harvest monsters to serve as their own. It was a profession worthy of mythic status. In his previous life, Yung Yu had cleared 70 worlds in just 10 years, becoming #1 in the Dragon Kingdom. But this time, beginning with a mythic profession, he aimed for perfection, clearing every world, not just for the Dragon Kingdom, but to become the strongest in existence. The system then announced his entry into the first world of another world, Source of Nightmares. Based on his location, he was placed in the safety zone called Doomsday Town. Combat was prohibited here. The system asked if he wished to continue using the ID Asura. Yung Yu declined. He chose a new identity 0. In this life, he would not just follow Asura's path, he would surpass it. And to transcend everything, there could only be 0. Yung Yu entered World 1, finding himself among several other people. Confusion filled the air as one girl looked around, comparing the world to reality. Another guy expressed disbelief, expecting monsters everywhere. But someone else explained that they were in a safe zone and that the monsters were outside. Suddenly, the system made an announcement. The World 1 mission had been launched and could be checked on the mission interface. Seeing this, some of the players realized the mission had already started. Yung Yu opened his system interface to study the details of this world. It stated that when darkness engulfed the earth, monsters slumbering beneath would awaken, leading the world toward disaster. As a survivor, one had to break the apocalyptic pattern, endure countless calamities, and destroy the darkness. The first world task was to kill 1,000 monsters. The second was to collect 10 silver coins by either hunting monsters or completing tasks. Completing these objectives would unlock the teleportation channel to the world boss dungeon. Defeating the boss would grant access to the second world. After understanding the mission, Young-ya decided to buy some equipment before starting any quests. He arrived at the equipment shop and noticed it only offered basic rough items. The best available gear was just 1-star quality. The shop owner mentioned they also had higher quality equipment, but it required additional copper coins. Jenung handed over 100 copper coins and requested a 1-star gear set. The shop owner provided the equipment as requested. Nearby, some players started whispering about Zhang's decision. They noted that the newbie starter pack only gave 100 copper coins, and Zhang had spent it all at once. One of them remarked that adding a 1-star magic wand didn't boost attack power significantly, suggesting it was better to buy a full set of basic gear. Another person criticized the choice, saying it wasn't worth it, but Zhang Ya ignored their comments and walked away without responding. A girl nearby pointed out that only higher-tier weapons could refine attributes, and refining could increase attack power. In response, someone explained that refining required energy, a rare resource gained only in small amounts through monster hunting tasks. It was so valuable that most couldn't even afford upgrades. Using it to refine a 1-star wand seemed foolish to them. The group continued discussing Zhang's poor decisions. They believed he had no defense and would run into trouble soon. To them, he looked like a clueless countryside kid who wouldn't survive long without money. A short distance away, Young-ya reflected on the situation. He knew regular people earned limited energy from monster hunting, making it impossible to refine a 1-star weapon. But unlike others, what he needed right now was energy. With that thought, he began upgrading his equipment. The system warned that refining would consume 1 point of energy and had only a 10% chance to upgrade the item to a green attribute. Higher attributes would cost more and have even lower success rates. When prompted, John confirmed the refinement. After a while, the process completed. The system reported that the equipment had been upgraded to its highest level. A total of 132 refinement attempts were made in one go, consuming 985 points of special energy. Zhang successfully acquired the golden attribute, the Flame Pioneer Staff. Pleased with the result, Zhang affirmed his decision. Refining 132 times in one click was only possible because he had billions of energy points. With his preparations finally complete, the real game was about to begin. A player was seen battling a monster, but the creature was far too powerful. He nervously realized that even this supposedly basic monster had an abnormally high health bar, and their attacks barely caused any damage. Just then, the monster lunged forward, forcing the player to dodge. In that moment, a powerful strike landed directly on the monster, instantly eliminating it in one blow. The devastating attack came from Zhang Yu. The system immediately notified him that he had slain the Ivy mutant rat, granting him +2 experience points and an enormous 10,000 anomalous energy, thanks to the active 10,000-fold anomalous energy buff. Young noted that legendary professionals started with all base attributes maxed out, along with full-level equipment sets. Regular players usually had to form teams just to defeat these mutated rats, but now he could finish them with a single hit. Watching this, a nearby player was stunned by the sheer damage output. He couldn't believe anyone at this stage could have refined a beginner weapon to such power. But one thing was clear. Kang was no ordinary player. Zhang analyzed the situation. Level 1 monsters provided too little experience. To level up faster, he needed to hunt monsters that were above his current level. Within this first world, called the Source of Nightmares, the enemies included low-level mutated rats, level 3 to 4 venomous spiders, level 5 to 7 armored scorpions, and level 8 to 9 enraged wild boars. The ultimate boss was a level 10 rampaging boar king. For now, targeting monsters above level 3 near the abandoned factory was the most efficient path. Noticing his strength, the earlier player tried to form a team with Young. His teammates, including some girls, also requested to join forces with him. But Zhang, maintaining his focus, declined their offer and walked away without hesitation. The team felt a chilling sense of pressure from Zhang. One of them commented that his aura was even more terrifying than the monsters. When they realized he was heading straight toward the abandoned factory, known for its extremely dangerous Heil monsters, they wondered if he planned to take them all on alone. At the factory, Yang used his upgraded gear to eliminate each monster methodically. With every kill, his level continued to rise. Eventually, after defeating the final monster in the area, the system notified him of a level up. He had reached level 3. His health increased by 30 points, mana by 12, and he gained 6 free attribute points. He now needed 1,000 experience points to reach the next level. Along with the level up, Yang unlocked a new skill, the Fireball spell. He noted that legendary class users received 6 times the upgrade bonuses compared to regular players. After 3 level ups, he had already gained 18 freely distributable attribute points. Since Beastemmer and Mage shared a similar early progression, it was important to focus on faster casting, consistent output, and then agility. Ordinary professionals rarely use their limited supernatural abilities so early. But for Zhang, energy was the last thing he had to worry about in this life. With that in mind, Zhang began upgrading his fireball skill. After consuming a large amount of energy points, he found the results satisfying. The fireball, now at max level, could deal 140% damage. At this pace, completing the first two world tasks and reaching level 8 before the boss fight seemed well within reach. His next goal was clear: defeat the boss and enter the second world. Jung arrived at a location and opened the gate, only to find an NPC sitting inside in a severely injured condition. He observed the scene and reflected that apart from the terrifying reality that dying here meant true death, this world functioned almost exactly like a typical game with quests, dungeons, and NPCs, like the one now in front of him. The wounded NPC, struggling to speak, explained that his wife and child had been killed by monsters. He pleaded for Zhang's help in avenging them by eliminating the scorpions responsible. At that moment, the system prompted Zhang with a quest notification. A new mission had been triggered: eliminate scorpions, and it awaited his acceptance. Seinong considered the offer. Equipment obtained through NPC quests was usually superior to random monster drops. Since he currently possessed only a basic staff, accepting this mission seemed like a worthwhile investment. He began reading through the task details. Looking ahead into the area, Jung noticed signs that there was more than just monsters lurking in this place. But for now, completing the mission remained his top priority. His eyes focused as he recognized the threat. This was the ironclad scorpion, the first intermediate-level monster in the first world. It had been a long time since he'd encountered one. Without delay, the ironclad scorpion launched its attack. Zhang immediately summoned his equipment and prepared for battle, signaling the start of a dangerous encounter. The battle between Zhang and the ironclad scorpion began instantly. As the monster charged at him, Zhang responded with a powerful fireball spell, obliterating the scorpion in a single blow. He noted the effectiveness of the super fireball spell, but also recognized its heavy mana consumption. As more ironclad scorpions closed in, Jung braced himself, recalling a crucial detail. Once the number of ordinary scorpions dropped below a certain limit, it would trigger the early appearance of the ironclad Emperor Scorpion. And right on cue, the massive monster emerged. Zhang knew he had to defeat this creature before exhausting his mana completely. He launched a super fireball toward the Emperor Scorpion, but the attack bounced harmlessly off its thick armor. Without hesitation, Jen dashed behind the beast and fired another spell directly at its weak spot. The attack landed perfectly, killing the Emperor Scorpion in one decisive strike. Completely drained, Jung observed the fallen beast and realized he'd barely managed to immobilize it. All that remained was the final blow to complete the mission. Suddenly, someone attacked Zhang from behind. He swiftly dodged to the side, avoiding the ambush. With a calm smile, he acknowledged the attacker's presence, having sensed someone lurking in the shadows for a while. The enemy, surprised, asked how Zhang had known. Zhang responded coldly, drawing a line between honest players and those who relied on underhanded tactics like sneaking and ambushing. Declaring that his past enemies were far more dangerous, Zhang unleashed a fiery attack on the ambusher's companion, burning them instantly. Shocked by the sudden strike, the attacker questioned how Zhang could still use skills despite running out of mana. But before the intruder could retreat, the system chimed in. Upon killing the Emperor Scorpion, Zhang had triggered the Death Mage profession effect, soul harvesting. A prompt appeared offering him the option to tame the ironclad Emperor Scorpion as a pet. Zhang accepted without hesitation. The scorpion's body began to revive. As the effect activated, the system confirmed the successful acquisition of the Emperor Scorpion as Zhang's pet. He began analyzing the situation. Beastmasters usually struggled to level up because their pets relied on their own experience points. In the early stages, they had to spend double the experience. As more pets were added, the required experience grew exponentially, making it nearly impossible for average players. But Zhang had no shortage of experience right now. Stunned, the attacker asked who Zhang really was, unable to believe a beast tamer could possess such immense power. Zhang explained that he had sensed someone watching him ever since receiving the mission. He deduced that the attacker specialized in stealth, targeting solo adventurers, and planned an ambush to steal the mission rewards by killing the Scorpion King at the last moment. Realizing his mistake, the attacker panicked and attempted to flee. But Xian provoked him to show his strength. At that moment, the newly tamed ironclad Emperor Scorpion lunged and attacked the fleeing enemy. Begging for mercy, the attacker pleaded for his life. But Zhang remained cold, declaring that in a world where predators hunt others, one must always be prepared to become prey. With the battle over, the wounded NPC approached Zhang with gratitude. Thankful for the revenge, he declared Zhang his brother. The system then confirmed the completion of the mission, eliminate the scorpions, and granted rewards. Zhang checked his loot and discovered a magic necklace and a pair of iron leg guards. The timing of the reward couldn't have been better. Just when he urgently needed a power boost, he refined the equipment instantly. With the new gear and the Emperor Scorpion by his side, Zhang estimated that their leveling speed would now increase fivefold. Suddenly, an area-wide notification appeared. All professionals in Doomsday Town were alerted to the emergence of a hidden realm, City of the Apocalypse, Level 5, nearby. The realm would remain open for 1 hour. Whoever conquered it first would earn generous rewards. The announcement stunned many professionals, but Zhang remained focused. The realm wasn't far, and with his current strength, he was determined to seize the first conqueror reward. A group of players gathered near the portal to the Level 5 secret realm. One of them stepped forward and encouraged others to join him, claiming that the first-time rewards inside were extremely generous and could make them rich. But another player quickly dismissed the idea, pointing out that with their current level, entering a Level 5 realm was practically a death sentence. While the rewards were tempting, survival was unlikely. The first player suggested forming a team to increase their chances. Zhang arrived on the scene, observing the crowd and noting how many seemed eager to challenge the secret realm. Just then, a figure of high status appeared. President Liu Qing, son of the richest man, Liu Yu. His arrival caught everyone's attention. Spectators whispered in awe about Liu Qing's extravagant nature. Every one of his subordinates was equipped with full sets of one-star gear, each piece costing tens of thousands. A girl standing beside Liu Qing turned her gaze to Zhang. Recognizing her, Zhang remembered that she was the original owner's ex-girlfriend, Linu. She mocked Zhang, reminding him that he was just a struggling beast tamer who couldn't even afford rent, yet dared to dream about tackling a Level 5 realm. Jen replied with a serious expression, unfazed by her taunts. Weiju was taken back. In the past, Zhang would beg for her attention, but now something felt different. She turned to Liu Qing and declared that only powerful individuals like Master Yao deserved to clear such elite realms. She added that others should stop chasing delusions. Liu Qing hugged Yuju and mocked Zhang, claiming that being dumped must sting. He suggested that people should know their limits and that clinging to impossible dreams wouldn't help. But Zhang coldly responded, calling Wu nothing more than an old shoe he'd already worn. If Luing wanted her, he could have her. As for the secret realm, Zhang said the real delusional one was someone else entirely. Enraged, Yu shouted at Zhang and demanded Master Yao teach him a lesson. Zhang warned them to value their lives. She scoffed at the threat, claiming to know Master Yao's weakness and calling him trash. Meanwhile, Liu Qing studied Zhang closely. He realized he couldn't see Zhang's level or profession, which meant Zhang was deliberately hiding them. Du Qing decided to drop the matter for now, saying he had no time to waste and would spare Zhang's life this time. He called out to his group, reminding them to carry resurrection scrolls, and led them into the portal to attempt the first clear. His followers all responded in unison. A bystander approached Zhang, urging him to accept the reality that poor weak players couldn't compete with powerful second-generation elites. But Zhang replied that if someone truly believed they were weak and poor, they should focus on becoming stronger. In his mind, Zhang reflected that while the original Yung Yua may have been poor, he was now Ashura, and things were different. The bystander scoffed, thinking Zhang was still just pretending to act tough. Nearby players chatted among themselves, stunned by the wealth on display. Resurrection scrolls sold for 3,000 each in the market, and Qing's group had them all. These scrolls could be used twice within 7 days, effectively giving users 3 lives. Many believed the Supreme Guild would surely claim the first clear this time. Zhang analyzed the situation. Secret realms often had powerful boss monsters guarding the end. While he could easily handle ordinary monsters, facing the final boss would be difficult unless both he and his iron-armored Scorpion reached level 5. With the right equipment and fully upgraded skills, he could potentially secure a flawless solo victory. As Liu Qing's group entered the portal, Yuju complained that Zhang had humiliated her and questioned why Qing hadn't avenged her. He explained that acting in public could ruin both the Liu families and the guild's reputation. If accused of randomly killing professionals, the fallout would be severe. But he assured her that the useless beast tamer would be brought to his knees eventually. Wu smiled, pleased that he cared about her. Inside the realm, Janang started battling monsters. He thought about how ordinary beast tamers required their pets to gain the same amount of experience as their masters. Fortunately, as a necromancer, his pets only needed half. By letting his iron-armored Scorpion defeat a few minor monsters, it could level up rapidly in the early stages. Watching from the shadows, a few players observed Zhang's performance and were shocked. One of them recognized him as the poor guy who had argued with Liu Yao earlier. Another admitted they had underestimated him. His level 5 Scorpion could instantly kill enemies. A group of girls approached Zhang, impressed by his strength. They begged to join him, asking to be his friends or even girlfriends, promising loyalty. Zhang simply refused and walked away. The system suddenly announced that the level 5 secret realm, City of the Unknown, would close in 10 minutes. Zhang assessed his current setup. With his Scorpion at level 5 and properly equipped for defense, it could tank from the front, while he provided magical firepower from behind. His mana-restoring gear enabled him to cast Fireball repeatedly, greatly increasing his monster-killing efficiency. 10 minutes would be more than enough. With that, Jung stepped into the portal. Inside, the scene turned grim for Luing's group. Qing was badly wounded and frustrated. They had nearly defeated the boss Scorpion. One of his allies lamented that as level 2 professionals, they were no match for a level 7 boss. It was a suicide mission. Yu agreed, saying the monsters were too strong and that survival should now be their priority. Another player urged the team to use resurrection scrolls and escape before the monster chased them down. Suddenly, the group looked up in shock. Someone was approaching. It was Zhang. Qing stared in disbelief, furious that Zhang dared to enter the level 5 secret realm alone. He shouted at Zhang, asking if he wasn't afraid of dying. Zhang responded with a smile. The others questioned what he was laughing at. Weiju tried to calm Qing, pointing out that Zhang probably didn't even own a resurrection scroll and had just entered to die. With that, the group made a hasty retreat, leaving Zhang alone in the heart of the realm. The system welcomed everyone to the level 5 secret realm known as the City of the Apocalypse, unbothered by the chaos around him. Zhang moved forward, ignoring the noise and distractions. Suddenly, the ground trembled, and a powerful level 7 boss monster, the iron-armored scorpion leader, emerged from beneath the earth. Zhang observed the massive creature, noting how its health bar was several times thicker than the lesser monsters he had faced before. Without hesitation, his own iron-armored scorpion engaged the boss in battle. Qiang felt confident. With the right equipment and the scorpion's innate skills, even a level 7 boss couldn't land a damaging blow. Trusting his strategy, he joined the fight and launched a barrage of attacks. A series of blazing fireballs formed in his hands, and he unleashed them all at once, bombarding the monster with overwhelming force. The boss fell in a single decisive strike. Jung stood atop the fallen beast, victorious. Immediately after, the system broadcasted a message to all players. Congratulations to Player 0 for being the first to complete the Level 5 Secret Realm, City of the Apocalypse. The reward granted was a Secret Realm scroll of black iron grade. Outside the portal, everyone was stunned by the sudden announcement. One player expressed disbelief at Zero's strength. Impressed by the fact that someone had actually cleared a Level 5 Secret Realm, Zhu, still processing what had happened, turned to Qing in shock. She pointed out that most players were only around level 1 to 3. A guardian in a level 5 realm would at least be a level 6 or 7 boss. She couldn't understand how it was possible. Qing considered the possibility that it could have been her ex-boyfriend. He had entered the realm just before the announcement was made. Yu quickly rejected the idea. She reminded Qing that Jung had hidden his identity and didn't even seem to have a pet. To her, there was no way he could have defeated a level 7 boss alone. Qing agreed it was unlikely. Whoever managed to kill the scorpion leader had to be someone exceptional. Determined to uncover the truth, Qing turned to his team and ordered them to investigate the identity of the player named Zero. He offered a generous reward to anyone who could recruit this mysterious powerhouse into the Supreme Guild to work under his command. After the boss monster was defeated, several valuable items appeared around its body. Zhang examined the loot, noting the significantly higher drop rate compared to regular monsters. Copper coins, blueprints, and equipment were scattered across the ground. But the most important item among them was a scroll. To him, upgradable Mystic Realm scrolls held far more value than a few thousand coins. Without delay, Zhang upgraded the scroll with a single click. He recognized its worth immediately. A king-level Mystic Realm scroll had never appeared in the first world. If released into the market, it could fetch hundreds of thousands. For most professionals, that amount was life-changing. But Zhenang's goal was not wealth. He aimed to conquer the other world. The system then notified him of a new bounty quest tied to the scroll: Save the Survivor. It had a time limit and promised rich rewards upon completion. Zhang noticed the difficulty, rating 100. The reward was unknown. It was a king-level bounty quest, but the objective seemed simple: escort an NPC. More system information followed. Darkness spread across the land, monsters had awakened, and humanity was on the brink of disaster. Within the first world source of nightmares, Zhang was tasked with finding the survivor, Aileen, and escorting her to the safe zone in N-Town. The challenge became clear. The map was designed for level 10 players, while Zhang was only level 5. Worse, the area was infested with berserk boars, known to attack in deadly packs. Still, he decided to move forward and locate Alien first. Soon, a monster was seen chasing a young girl. Suddenly, a powerful attack struck it down in one hit. It was Zhang's strike. The girl, now safe, asked if he had come to save her. Zhang confirmed. The system confirmed that the survivor N had been found. 10 hours remained to complete the quest. Suddenly, another monster approached. Zhang immediately prepared for battle. As the creature lunged toward him, Jung struck back with his gear, defeating it. But the threat didn't end there. More monsters emerged, surrounding both Zhang and Aileen. Zhang assessed the situation. Despite having a mythical-level profession, a gold attribute staff, and an A-grade fireball spell, his attacks weren't dealing enough damage. If Aileen died, the quest would fail. He quickly summoned his iron scorpion to cover them. The scorpion responded perfectly, drawing the monster's attention. Zhang began firing off fireballs one after another, wiping out enemies as he fought through the swarm. Encouraged by his progress, he pushed forward, determined to keep going and gain more experience. Despite defeating several monsters, Jen realized the boars kept coming. Their relentless charges were draining his mana rapidly. Aileen looked up at him with concern, asking if he was okay. Zhang reassured her, promising to get her back safely. Just then, a boar charged at Zhenong, but he incinerated it with his equipment. He took a moment to breathe, noting that his HP was still relatively high. Any less and the boar's impact would have been unbearable. His iron scorpion was also nearing its limit. The bounty quest was proving far tougher than expected. Opening his system window, Zhenong felt relief. He had leveled up twice during the battle. It was time to boost his attack power using the equipment he'd obtained from the Scorpion King. He equipped the Glory Lord's battle ring and raised it toward the sky. Instantly, a massive fire tornado surged around him. Now, with just 2 fireballs, he could kill a boar, something that previously took 7 or 8. In one explosive move, all the boar monsters were wiped out. Zhang exhaled in relief. The path was finally clear. Now all that remained was to escort En safely to End Town and complete the quest. Before he could move, Qing appeared. He was surprised that Zhang had survived the Mystic Realm. Zhang showed no interest in conversation. He dismissed Qing as a small fry and told him to leave. Yuju, irritated, turned to Qing. She reminded him that as a level 5 elite with full gold equipment, he could easily crush most newcomers. She urged him to teach Zhang a lesson. Qing drew his sword, declaring that last time Zhang had been lucky. This time he planned to end it. Zhang welcomed the challenge, offering him a shot. Qing charged forward and struck with his sword, but Zhang remained unharmed. Qing and Uju both stared in disbelief. Uju couldn't believe what she was seeing. To her, Zhang was just an unarmed beast tamer, and yet even Brother Yao couldn't defeat him. Jung laughed, calm and confident. The performance was over. Now it was his turn. Jung raised his equipment toward the sky once again, summoning a massive tornado of fire. The blazing attack shook Qing to his core. In a panic, he revealed his identity as the president of the Supreme Guild and the eldest son of Lin Hai's richest Lu family, threatening Zhang not to strike him. But Zhang unleashed his attack anyway. The overwhelming force left Qing broken and defeated. After taking Qing down, Zhang reflected on the rules of the other world. In this realm, professionals were usually marked by white names, but when a white-named professional maliciously attacked another, their name turned gray temporarily. During that time, any counterattack by the victim wouldn't count as evil. If the attacker succeeded in killing the other white-named player, their name would turn red and they'd gain 100 evil points. Red-named players would then be barred from safe zones and couldn't exit the other world unless they either removed their evil points by killing enough monsters or faced death themselves. And with death came major losses, levels, experience, and a huge amount of equipment and items. Watching from a distance, Yu was stunned. She couldn't believe Zhang had taken down Lu Yao with a single blow. She hadn't realized when he had grown so powerful. Zhang then turned toward her, panicked. Yu demanded to know what he intended to do. Her thoughts raced. She had already used one of her revival scrolls to escape a previous realm. If she used her second one now, she'd have no safety net left. But Zhang didn't attack. He simply picked up the little girl and started walking away. While leaving, he glanced at Yu, thinking that sparing her was the right choice. Attacking white-named players could interfere with his quest, and he had no time for distractions. Furious, Yu watched him go. Being ignored by someone she considered beneath her only fueled her anger.